What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Crypto Over Redbull. And today, the crypto market is getting absolutely crushed because we're in the middle of a macro squeeze, post-ETF hangover, and a brutal altcoin rush. With inflation still sticky and the Fed staying hawkish, risk assets like crypto are getting zero love from institutional capital. Retail's exhausted, ETF hype has cooled, and liquidity is bone dry across the board. Add in a wave of liquidation, weak volume, and whales hunting stops, and boom, you've got a red sea. This is a classic shakeout territory before the next leg up. Now, before we get started, if you can go ahead and hit that subscribe button and give a 5-star rating, it is much appreciated. So go ahead, pop open that Red Bull, and let's go. As usual, let's go ahead and check in on the pricing of our blue chip cryptos, of course starting with the king of crypto, Bitcoin, approximately trading at 78,892, down 5% the last 24 hours. We have ETH approximately at 1,617, down a whopping 9.62% the last 24 hours. BNB is at $556.35, down 4.11%. Solana at approximately $105.33, down 8.07%. Cardano is trading at roughly 71 cents, down 4.95% in the last 24 hours. And the one shining light in this whole sea of red, XRP is trading at approximately $2.32, but up 4.71% in the last 24 hours. And then Dogecoin at approximately 17 cents, down like everyone else at 2.18% in the last 24 hours. Transitioning to the news, let's kick things off with MicroStrategy. Between March 31st and April 6th, the company that usually buys Bitcoin like it's oxygen didn't purchase a single Bitcoin. That's right, 0 Bitcoin added to their balance sheets this past week. But here's the flip. They've confirmed that there are no US tariffs on Bitcoin at the moment. It's a subtle flex, a bit of reassurance amid a wave of economic uncertainty. So no buys, but also no FUD. Now, not everyone's feeling so calm. A major crypto analyst is out here warning that Bitcoin could slide to 70,000 if tariff tensions continue to rise. We're seeing global trade policy back in the spotlight, and uncertainty is growing. Historically, Bitcoin has acted as a hedge, but short-term fear can still shake the market. If tariffs expand or financial conditions tighten, we could see a pullback even for our beloved BTC. And speaking of macro moves, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent just made some waves. He said gold will likely be exempt from any upcoming tariffs, and then casually compared Bitcoin to gold as a store of value. Let me say that again. Their Treasury Secretary is putting Bitcoin in the same lane as gold. Whether you're a maximalist or not, that's huge for legitimacy. This kind of recognition at the federal level doesn't happen often. File that under bullish fundamentals. Alright, so let's go ahead and lighten up the mood here for 1 second and have a very special shout out to the ghost in the code, Satoshi Nakamoto, who turned 50 on April 5th. If you go ahead and dig into his P2P Foundation profile, it lists his birthday as April 5th, 1975. So whether he's real, a group, or a time-traveling AI, we owe this dude our respect. Happy birthday, Satoshi, wherever you are. So back to the charts, Solana just saw the largest single-day unlock in its history. Over 260 million Solana unlocked from a 4-year-old stake, and one whale dumped more than 50 million Solana into the market. You can bet that kind of move rattled the short-term price action, but Solana's still humming. The big takeaway, Solana's liquidity is being tested in real time, and this whale just shook the tree. Meanwhile, CryptoQuaint is reporting that a long dormant Bitcoin wallet just sprang to life. 1,057 Bitcoin worth tens of millions moved after over 7 years of being untouched. Anytime ancient coins move, the market takes notice. This could signal long-term holders gearing up to sell or just repositioning in the face of macro shifts. Either way, that kind of old money doesn't budge without a plan. But not every big player is selling. Some are buying heavy. A whale just bought the dip, scooping up 6,488 ETH, which is about 22 to 23 million depending on entry. This kind of accumulation signals institutional confidence or at least high conviction belief that ETH is undervalued at current levels. While some are fearful, others are loading up, and you love to see it. Speaking of conviction, BlackRock is back at it, buying 25 million worth of Bitcoin this week. The TradeFi Titan isn't just playing around anymore, they're averaging in bit by bit, and it's becoming crystal clear Bitcoin is now a Wall Street asset class. And last but not least, the SEC has officially acknowledged Fidelity's Solana ETF filing. That doesn't mean approval yet, but it means the process is live. Solana could be the next big asset to get a spot ETF, following in the footsteps of Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is major for Solana's long-term adoption, especially for institutions that don't want to mess with wallets, keys, or self-custody. Alright guys, that's
Hey there crypto fans, buckle up because things are getting bumpy. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, all the usual suspects, they're all taking a nosedive. Remember those sweet gains from last year? Yeah, about that. It's like watching your favorite roller coaster suddenly plummet. Except, instead of screams of excitement, there's just the sound of wallets emptying. Ouch. This isn't